Yes, yes, yes. Coogan and the IFL team have just hit 1 billion views. That's big news. I want to say well done to the team. Coogan, I've been rocking with you for so many years now. I want to thank you personally for all your support, getting my message out to the public and all that type of good stuff. Keep it going. Who knows what will be next? 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 4, 5 billion, 6 billion, 7 billion, maybe more. Go on, Coogs. Keep it going, brother. Hope you're good. Hope the team's good. Respect.
Yeah, those IFL fuckers have managed to get to 1 billion views, aren't they? What do you think of that? You know, they're posting that photo on their social media every minute, aren't they? You know, saying, yeah, we got to 1 billion views. You know what I mean? And fucking people like Joshua and Tyson Fury are giving them praise and that. But why isn't James Helder mentioned in any of this? You know what I mean? Why is he not being praised? The original co-founder of IFL TV when it was called iFilm London. James Helder's not getting any praise at all, is he? He's not getting any kind of fucking praise. And he's the co-founder. He built it up from nothing. It's alright, Umar, IFL Umar, you know, coming on the scene when the channel's already blown up. And it's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers and they've got these fancy sponsors. Everlast, MTK Global, Sports Direct. It's alright him coming on the scene when it's already taken off. You know, and getting a load of pussy out of it, you know, interviewing big names and living off their names for sexual reasons. He's come along when it's already taken off the channel, when it's blown up big time. But James, he was there at the start, you know, when it was travelling around to little shit shows, you know, staying in little dirty travel lodges and little fucking shitty hostels. But you know, James, he's not getting any praise, is he? He's not getting his flowers. He's not getting praised, you know, for the success of IFL TV, even though he was a big part of it early on. And really, you have to like ask yourself if IFL would be as big today if it wasn't for James. It's like Nassim Hamed, innit? You know, when he split up with Brendan, Naz used to say that, you know, he could have gone to any gym and trained with any trainer out there and he would have become a world champion because he's God gifted. And it was written from God for him to become a world champion. And then Brendan said, nah, that's not true, man. Without me, you'd be nothing. And it's true, innit? Like, sometimes, you know what I mean, you need that right person, you know, to help you elevate and get to a good level. You know, it's the same with Mike Tyson. You know, without Cos Tomato, would Mike Tyson be that good? You know, without Cos Tomato, would he have got to those kind of heights that he got to, you know, when he was a world champ? I don't think he would have done it. Because, like, you know, Mike Tyson, he said on the Joe Rogan show, you know, that Cos Tomato used to, like, brainwash him, you know, and hypnotize him and, you know, tell him that he's the best ever.
I'm the best ever.
Yeah, Mike Tyson talking like that. That's Cos Tomato getting in his head, you know, hypnotizing him and telling him that he's going to be great. So without Cos Tomato, you know, Mike Tyson probably wouldn't have achieved what he did and became the legend that he is. You know, and it's the same with Nassim Hamed, innit? And Brendan, you know, fucking Brendan training Nas from a young age. You know, these trainers like Brendan and Cos Tomato, they're not really around anymore. These guys are on a different level, man. They're like psychologists, aren't they? They get into the boxers' minds. They train them from young and they brainwash them and hypnotize them. Those trainers are fucking extinct nowadays, really. Ben Davison. He's a bit arrogant, isn't he? He's a bit stuck up, that guy, isn't he? Ben Davison. He's a bit fucking stuck up, isn't he? A bit arrogant. You know, he fucking goes around saying, oh, boxing trainers, they're all lazy other than me. You know, they're lazy, aren't they? They're fucking lazy. He's a bit stuck up, that Ben Davison, isn't he? But you know him, he hasn't really trained anybody from a young age, you know, produced a world champion from a young age, a little kid like Nas, like Brendan did with Nas, you know, training him from young. Ben Davison's never really done that, has he? So, you know, his little bit of arrogance that he's got, it's not justified, is it? It's not justified, man, I'm telling you. But yeah, going back to this fucking 1 billion views shit, you know, it's a bit sad, innit? It's a bit sad for James Helder not getting a mention. You know, not getting put into the photo, the art, the artwork. You know, he's not in there, is he? You know, and there's people in there who shouldn't really even be in there, do you know what I mean? You know, like Mick Condon, he's in there, isn't he? You know, getting knocked out the ring. Like, why is he in there? Like, really, what's he done? Like, who's he? Like, really, you know, getting knocked out the ring. So he shouldn't be in there. And if he is in there, James Helder should definitely be in there as well. He deserves to be in there, man. He built it up from nothing, the channel. He was a big part of it. So he should be in there, shouldn't he? And like, you know, Coogan, yeah. He put Liam Williams in there twice. You know, there's 2 photos of Liam Williams. You know, can you see Liam Williams in there twice? You know, near that one, the O. He's there, yeah. So there was a little space. There was like a little vacancy that needed to be filled. And Coogan just said, oh, I'll put Liam Williams in there again. Fuck it. He should have put James Helder in there, man. You know what I mean? There was a little vacancy. And Coogan, he didn't want to put James in. He just put fucking Liam Williams in there twice. You know, just to fill the space up. It's fucking disrespectful, isn't it? Disrespectful behaviour, man. You know, and James now, he's not really doing well, is he? You know what I mean? IFL, they've got about 750,000 subscribers. And you know, James, he's like got a little football channel, but he's not really doing that well. You know what I mean? He's got the status of a plum.
You've got the status of a plum, you're a plum.
So he's not doing well, is he? So at least give him a bit of praise, you know, give him a little bit of a boost, you know, and give him a mention. Because he's part of the channel's success, really. So you can't really be forgetting people who was there from the start. It's like Carl Froch, you know, he's got that fancy wife on it, Rachel Cordingley Froch. He's got her on it, but she wasn't with him when he was homeless. I've known Carl Froch for years. I used to train with him in Nottingham, yeah. And he used to have an ugly girlfriend. You know, when he was broke and he was kind of homeless. You know, he had a girlfriend and she wanted all that, you know. And then as soon as he started to make money and become a world champ, you know, this little fancy model, Rachel Cordingley, she kind of came on the scene, but she wasn't there from the start, was she? She wasn't there when Carl Froch was homeless, asking for help. So really, you know, you can't really blame Carl Froch for getting with her, you know, because she's quite nice. You know, his other girlfriend, she was a bit ugly. But this fancy model, Rachel Cordingley Froch, she's nice looking, isn't it? So I can't blame him for fucking the other woman off, but you still have to, like, I don't know, like, help her out or whatever. Just, you know, she needs a bit of cash. Just give her a bit of cash, you know, because she was there from the start. She helped build him up. She was there from the start, wasn't she? She wasn't with him for the money and that. So he should give her a bit of cash still. He should help her out. You know, if she needs anything, if she needs any help, he should help her. But he doesn't. He's tight, innit? You remember when he was complaining about some battered onion rings? He was fucking complaining, wasn't he, about battered onion rings. He didn't want to pay for them, did he? Yeah, and fucking... I know someone who's renting one of Carl Froch's properties in Nottingham, yeah. And he told me that the window's falling through, you know, because it's a bit mouldy. And he rang up Carl Froch and asked him to, like, come round, you know, and get the windows replaced. And Carl was like, all right, yeah, I'll send someone round. And he didn't. You know, he's a tight fucker, isn't he, that Froch, you know, with his fucking battered onion rings. So that's the kind of person he is. So he's probably not helping out the woman who was with him when he was homeless. Yeah, he's fucked her off, hasn't he? And that's the same with Coogan and James Helder. You know, Coogan's fucked him off. I was in a bar with James Helder a few months ago and asked him about Coogan and, you know, why he left. And he had a tear in his eye, James. And it was sad to see. I could tell he was really upset, you know. I don't know what happened to him. We don't know the ins and outs, do we? He said he's going to bring out a book, you know, revealing everything that happened. You know, we don't know what happened, do we? We're speculating. We're saying that, you know, Daniel El Chapahan forced James Helder to give up his shares in IFL, you know, at gunpoint. That's what the consensus is, isn't it? That's what the general belief is. You know, that Daniel El Chapahan held a gun to James Helder's head and forced him to hand over his shares. Because when MTK Global came on the scene, that's when James Helder fucked off, didn't it? So it's not a coincidence, is it? He had to go, didn't he? But you know, James Helder, he's always been sort of like underappreciated. You know, undervalued, you know, out of those two, you know, Coogan and James. It was always Coogan, you know, who was getting all the praise. He was like the main man out of the two, wasn't he? You know, he was more out there, wasn't he? He was more sexual, wasn't he? You know, fucking all these women, and, you know, he was always posting photos, you know, of him with all these women, you know, trying to show off and that. So he caught people's attention more than James. He don't really post anything like that. But you know, Coogan, he knows that like sex sells. He like added like a sexual element, posse and views and all that. So he basically like sexualized himself by using women, you know, to really stand out and to be seen as the main man at IFL. And James, he wasn't really as popular, was he? As known. His profile wasn't as big as Coogan's, was he? So he's always been like overlooked. But I think, well, I know that he definitely had a vital part to play, you know, in the fucking success of IFL. So to not mention him at all, to not put him in that fucking bit of art, it's disrespectful, innit? Coogan don't want to acknowledge him at all, does he? He should definitely be in there, man. Who else is in there who shouldn't really be in there? Tommy Fury. You know, he's just in there through association anyway with his fucking brother being Tyson Fury. Tommy Fury's not even that good, is he? He hasn't beat anybody. He's just in there through association. And for being on Love Island, you know what I mean? So it's... You know, he's still trying to live off Jake Paul's name, innit? He's still trying to talk about Jake Paul, you know, in every interview, you know, trying to milk a bit of juice out of Jake Paul's name. That's what he's trying to do, innit? But he's not really that good, Tommy Fury, is he? He's on this little undercard, innit? You know, for the Tyson Fury Dillian White show. He's fighting some little dosser, innit? So he's basically in that photo through association. He's not that good at all. Yeah, he made the list. But yeah, what do you think of this fight here? Who do you think's going to win that? You know what? I've got another video coming up, you know, about this fight here. So I'm going to save it, you know, for the next video. We'll talk in depth, you know, about the Tyson Fury Dillian White fight. I'll talk about it there. But I just wanted to do a video, you know, about Coogan and those IFL fuckers, you know, fucking, you know, denying James Helder that praise and that adulation. They don't want to credit him at all, do they? It's fucked up. They're all high-fiving each other, aren't they? Saying, yeah, congratulations, well done, we did it. We got to 1 billion views, yeah. Yeah, they fucked up, man. They forgot about the person who started it up in the first place. They don't want to acknowledge him, do they? But yeah, that'll do, you know. Thanks for watching, yeah. Thanks for that.